Hello, everybody! Anime Reflux! It's a show where we watch random anime picked from a list with numbers and more numbers, and then we get something that we usually probably don't actually want to watch, but end up watching anyway because that's the point of the show. Broaden our horizons and all that crap. So,
I think usually might be a bit of a strong word. I mean, we get our share of junk, sure, but there are plenty of good anime that we come across.
there are,
Yeah,
but in fairness, that's something we usually discover after the fact. Before, at least for me, this is generally things I wouldn't have watched unless prompted by the show.
Well,
that's why
yes,
the
like
show exists.
like Princess Tutu and Pet Shop of Horrors, both of those I wouldn't have looked into if not for this show, and the former had a surprising plot that made me want to look more into it, and the latter, well, I think it's actually up there with my favorites now. But we're not here to talk about past anime. We're here to talk about Zoids.
Which is also
Zoids!
That's a past anime.
past anime. It came out in 1999.
In fairness, so did the original anime for Hunter x Hunter, so, you know.
This is, Zoids is some good old-fashioned Saturday morning cartoon stuff. That's
It
kind
is.
of the category it fits into.
Dude, let me tell you, they used to have like models for this shit, and I had like three of them put together.
Like, I didn't get on with the first series of Zoids. It was New Century Zero was the one that I watched a lot as a kid.
I wonder why.
Because I was old enough to actually watch Saturday morning cartoons and understand them.
Oh, right, Zero's a baby. I forgot Zero's a baby.
That's why I missed out, because this came out when I was like 4 years old. So if I did watch it, I have no memory.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, this I say usually, this was a new thing we've started trying to do. If there's a dub, we try and split who watches what and have me and Slicer in the dub club, and Kenshi, Zero, and I believe Patient is in the sub squad. I think we call it sub squad. Yeah.
Honestly, Ken kind of goes wherever he wants.
Yeah, I
to.
do whatever the
Kind
hell
of the
I
middle.
want.
Okay. Fair enough, I guess. But yeah, we tried finding a subtitle version of the show. We couldn't. Just, like, straight up. Just doesn't seem to exist. In Western territories. So,
Possibly, yeah.
I pitched the idea to Slicer of allowing Kenshi and Zero and... Well, Patient did actually get to watch the show because his computer's balked. But allowing Kenshi and Zero temporary honorary membership in the dub club, and he immediately said no. So basically, Ken and Zero are just mooching hobos, just sort of wandering into our clubhouse.
Yeah, here's
We
the thing.
can't really get them to leave. We don't want to call the police. It's kind of a hassle. So
The whole thing.
I'm sure
Don't
they'll
leave
just
them
go away on
eventually.
their own eventually. It's fine.
Yeah, I don't want to be in your bitch ass club. I could have been in already, but I simply chose not to because I'm a loner.
How edgy.
Yeah.
Mr. Lone Wolf Kirito over here.
Fuck you.
Here's the thing, though. A sub might not exist in Western territories. I think that's to the show's benefit. The dub is so charming. It's kind of great in how not great it is.
Even though I never watched this as a Saturday morning cartoon, it feels like a good old-fashioned Saturday morning cartoon.
It does, yeah.
Americans would probably be able to tell better. To me, all of the voice actors sounded Canadian. Was that accurate, or was that just my ears?
There
Here's
was
the thing. Who dubbed this? I need to check that because that might make sense.
there were only some words that came off as excessively Canadian. Otherwise, it just seemed like a little odd sounding English.
I'm pretty sure I actually heard an boot in there. Like,
Yeah,
That-
that was one of them. Yes.
yeah. So, there's not actually that many Canadian accents that do the boot thing, but it was there. Yeah, and I immediately compared this to, like, you remember when voice acting was just about starting to be a mainstream thing in video games? Where they started voicing characters. Like, Final Fantasy X, I want to say, was the first one that did it for that series. And you got things like Tidus's laugh and all that meme crap.
Oh
That's
god.
just kind of awkward, but sort of great in how awkward it is. This is kind of
No.
like that. It's pretty great.
I'd say it's not that bad, honestly.
Yeah, it's
Everyone-
not that bad. Like, you put Titus's laugh in there, and I'm just like, no, we're not
Yeah.
going that far.
Here's the thing, though. Like, even the early stuff of video games, it was goofy, and sometimes it was really bad. Like, Resident Evil 1 was really bad. But, like, the ones that weren't quite so bad, they weren't so bad. And the kind of off and weird tonal readings of some of the lines made it amusing in a whole different way. And, yeah. Like, Tidus's laugh is a meme thing, yeah, sure. But as far as I'm aware, most of the rest of the voice acting was supposed to be okay. Like, not stellar, but okay.
That overshadows the entire game in my memory. I cannot remember anything about that game.
That's a shame.
So yeah, I'm a fan of the dub of the show. It's pretty good. Appreciate it. Good work. Yeah. So I guess we should do. Ken, did you figure out who did the dub for the show, or?
I did not, but yeah, this was like Turner Broadcasting kind of took this over.
Okay.
And they're out of Atlanta, so I don't really get why it would sound Canadian to you.
Oh well. Yeah. So I guess we should get to synopsis and stuff. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, cool. Okay, so there's a dude in the desert, and he's on a hoverboard. Because this was 1999, and hoverboards were still cool.
His name is Van Flyheit.
That is
Really?
that is a 90s fucking turn of the millennium fucking anime name or any kind of name if I've ever heard
I
one.
looked it up. It's Van Flyheit.
Is that the translated name where they changed it because they don't want him to be named Kenji something something?
Here's the thing.
Sashi Watamoto.
Yeah.
You don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. So, yeah, Van, who disappointingly does not have a van. I feel like that they missed a trick there. He's riding his hoverboard in the desert for reasons, and being chased by a giant robot mech. And we're not entirely sure why. Neither is he. Just something crawled up his ass kind of thing. Situation. It's a little weird. Yeah, they didn't really clarify why that was happening. It was just a random kid in the desert. But, yeah. Chasing him down and shooting him.
I believe his Japanese name is Fryheit. Freiheit.
That's not funny.
No, that's what I found.
Nuh-uh.
That's what I found.
Well, that's informative.
Now I need to double check because I can't tell whether Zero's fucking with me. Zoids, Wikipedia, da.
But even if he was, it's not that good of a joke for him to do it.
No, I'm serious.
Okay. Oh God, I do not want to. There's a deep dive into this. There are 5 different. Okay, I'm not doing this.
Chaotic Century is the, I believe, the starting one.
I don't care. I'm already out. Yeah. So, yeah. Right. So, giant robot is shooting at the kid on the hoverboard, and
Just for fun, really.
yeah, pretty much. Just knocks the kid off the hoverboard, and the kid. The hoverboard still flies of its own accord. Well, flies. It's a hoverboard. And he's just holding onto it by, like, the ripcord or whatever you call the thing that you usually power an engine with. Thing. I don't know what it's actually called. And so he's just kind of getting dragged along by it for a good while. Gets dragged up a wall, and the animation of being dragged up the wall is not great. Just sort of acting like it's a flat plane when it's really, really obviously not. And I believe we get a bit of an interlude with 2 other dudes that are allied with the guy in the robot. Just kind of watching. He's like, oh, this. What is he even doing? Just.
It's just sad.
Just let him get it out of his system, I guess. It's like a kid with a toy.
Gotta prove something.
Yeah, and so dude in the robot crashes into the wall or something, and gets buried under a pile of rocks. So those other 2 dudes go up and save him, while the kid is inside the ruins trying to fix his hoverboard. And then immediately says, why am I even trying to do this? I've already scavenged this place for parts and everything's already taken. So...
You mean this
pointless.
Freshly uncovered ruin?
Yeah.
Was buried until now.
Yeah. Little confusing.
I think maybe they mistranslated that line a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, it would have made more sense if you mentioned that someone else has probably come along and picked this place clean, because that seems to be about the setting, but...
Yeah. It's hard when there's no actual Japanese version to compare notes with.
So he keeps searching the ruins and finds something maybe could be cool. He's not sure yet. And then we switch over to idyllic village scene. Graveyard. Oh, graveyard. Okay. That's... Alright. And there is a priest. And he sees a woman at a grave and decides to shout at her in the graveyard, which is actually kind of a pretty big faux pas. You don't really do that. Really. That's not a... But, yeah. He does that. And then they get to talking over... this grave is that kid Van's dad, and Van laid flowers at it, and they're all oddly happy about this guy being dead, tonally speaking.
You're not Van Fleck Heights.
I don't want to, but you're going to tell us.
Dan Fleck
That's the part where a bunch of British citizens start singing.
I'm very confused because the audio just crapped the fuck out for everyone.
Of course it did.
I got the reference that Patient made, and also the kid's dad's name is Dan Flyheight. So Van and Dan Flyheight.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, they're oddly happy that this guy's dead, and they say he had a Zoid of his own, and Van just wants to follow in his footsteps, and such, and such, and such, and such. Switching back to Van, and he's found a thing in this place that he already picked clean, supposedly. It's a green tube of science goo.
Green tube of science goo. It's my favorite thing to appear in the first episode of Things.
Yeah.
All right. Sure. Let's go with that.
So he either accidentally or intentionally, it's not quite sure, but we know he kind of wanted to open the thing anyway. He does by hitting a button. I don't know what reference Patience is making. I assume Monty Python, but I might be mistaken. I don't get the reference. Sorry. Oh, Christmas Carol. Okay, I still don't get the reference because I am only especially familiar with the Muppet version of that story.
That's fine.
Yeah. It's a good film, by the way. I watch it every year. Christmas. Muppet Christmas Carol. It's pretty good. Where was I? Right, he opens the thing. He opens the science goo tube, which opens by detonation, apparently. Feel like if they made a science tube, they could make a cleaner, safer way of opening it.
Only.
Yeah.
One use only.
Yeah, sure. Okay.
It's the old-time marketing strategy.
I mean, it cannot be easy to make a single piece of glass that big and that shape. Like, that's a lot of money just wasted. A lot of time and effort.
What I'm learning about the past of this world is that there were lots of things that were not commercially viable.
Okay. Yeah, so inside the science tube is a robot, a Zoid, apparently.
It's like a little dinosaur.
Yeah, little dude. And Van is like, oh, cool. It's a robot. I'm going to call you Zeke after the one that my dad had that died tragically, because that's not bad luck at all.
He also says this word for word.
He wants to.
I'm gonna name you after my dad's dead robot.
He wants to be just like his dad. Tragedy and all.
Yeah.
And then the robot hits him with his tail.
Because he's like, that's stupid. You're stupid.
Yeah. And while this was all happening, the guy in the other robot was gotten free and went after the kid, busted into the room, and Van attacks the dude in the robot with an electric cable, shocks the thing, and he's like, "Run away, Zeke! Get away! You're just a baby, so run away and I'll hold him off." And he gets battered away by the robot. And then Zeke runs in. Go ahead.
Why is he not dead?
Yeah, valid. Anime logic. So Zeke, seeing that this kid just tried to protect him and stuff, is like, oh, this guy's okay, I guess, so I'm gonna try and protect him and stuff. And gets the shit beaten out of him. And at this point, Van is like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have named him after my dad's dead robot. That probably was a pretty bad idea, because exactly what happened there is happening here. Okay. How about Stan? Stan's a good name for a robot. Van and Stan, that'd be good.
No.
Yeah.
I wish.
Van and Stan and Dan.
Yeah.
We're not doing that.
He's just a man. That Van. Trying to be like his dad, Dan.
Anyway. So they, escape somehow. I forget how. Anyone remember?
I think they just leave.
Yeah,
Howard's
okay.
just sleeping.
I'll go with that. They leave, and Stan runs off into the desert, carrying Van. Oh yeah, Stan has jet engines that pop out of him, and he just picks up Van, puts him on his back, and they just boost the fuck out of there.
Through the enemy robot and then through a wall.
Yeah.
That's some powerful rockets on this tiny robot.
Yeah. So they ride out into the desert directly into this giant robot that is completely just like rusted over and just fucked up. Obviously, clearly inoperable. And Stan just sort of jumps into it and activates his super cleaning powers, fixes it up, and Van pilots it and beats the other dude. Yay.
It's a shield Liger.
Yeah.
That means
So
that
you can find the
those
toy in
high
stores, so you
defensive
know what to look for.
capabilities.
Okay, so
Shield Liger has high defensive capabilities.
It's, bl- it's
Isn't
blue.
this Kenchi's job? Isn't
Yes,
this product placement Kenchi's job?
it is, and I'm very hurt. It was taken.
So he drove by this hunk of scrap earlier. I realized he was kind of focused on being shot at, but like he didn't see it, and that's weird to me.
It was kind of
Broken.
literally,
Yeah, there was something he could do. There was something he could do with it at the time.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's nothing he could do with it then either. Also, he didn't recognize. Well, how does he recognize it? It's just half buried scrap.
Yeah. Well,
The
you know,
dude
it's
really
plot
likes
relevant
his
because
giant
Stan.
robot.
I've decided Stan is this thing's new name. It's better than
Sure.
Zeke. So yeah, that's pretty much
So-
where the episode ends, I think.
So the whole thing with Zoids, you have your Liger series of robots, and they all have different abilities and whatnot.
Can you name all the Ligers?
Can I name all the Ligers? Oh boy, that's
Because I can.
Oh,
can't name all the Ligers. I just remember Liger Zero the most, and then like, because they go into like it's okay, Liger Zero. I'm gonna look up the freaking Wikipedia page for this. 'cause
Oh
I can't
wow,
remember.
Zero's gonna tell us about the toy line. Okay.
Now, I'm going to tell you about the toy line, bitch. I am.
Okay, go, and I'll add on to what you add.
There's Shield Liger. He's blue. He makes shields, but not really. So if you get this thing, you have to pretend that he has shields. Then there's evolves later into Blade Liger, who has shields and blades. Yeah, kids. Blades that come out of like his undersides, sideways out. So you can run past stuff and cut it. Get it now in stores. Let's see. For the other one, there is Liger Zero, which is a white Liger. Ooh.
Liger Zero is my personal favorite. I just like
Mhm.
the clean design.
And now you can get the attachments for Liger Zero, featuring Red Blade Liger and the other ones that I don't remember.
If you look into the Fuser series, you get Liger Zero Jaeger, Liger Zero Schneider, Liger Zero Panzer, Liger Zero X, Liger Zero Phoenix, Liger Zero Falcon, Liger Zero Gusoko Miyoko, Liger Zero Caesar the King,
I don't know half
Miko
of them.
Liger, Liger Zero Mariner. Yeah, all these Liger Zero models available now.
I'm curious how much you'd have to actually spend on those nowadays. I mean, they must be like collector's items at this point, right?
I don't know. They weren't. Hold on. Google can answer this question for me.
You
Zoids.
can find like a Liger Zero Zoids complete action figure for $113. Like the good one. If you want a die-cast figure, that's $345 for the one of them.
Man, these things are expensive.
So many Ligers. What about Tigans?
No. Ligers are cool. They're magical.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Tigan's a thing? Like, I know there's a lion and a tiger makes a liger, and
Yeah, I know.
Only
I know-
half right. Only half right, Casey. A male lion and a female tiger make a liger.
Yeah,
A male tiger and a female lion make a tigan.
yeah. I
Wow.
know they exist. I
Dude,
care much more
things
about
are,
Ligers.
these things are not that much.
Yeah, you can get the cheaper ones. You can get cheaper ones, but the cool ones all cost money.
so did they ever just go like? I'm still confused why they went with Liger. Like, did they ever take that further and just go with Lai Lai and Tai Tai? Because those are also things.
because they can't do lions.
Because that's fucking Voltron or something, I think, right?
Yes, because that's pretty much Voltron.
Yeah.
And they can't do straight up tiger, so they combined it.
Oh, they have Saberfang models. I used to have that. That's cool.
Yeah, I'm finding I think I had this Liger Zero model.
I need to get out of this
Yeah,
page.
we've lost Kenshi.
I need to get out. I'm out.
Oh, it has a little
Personally-
cockpit. Oh, it has a little cockpit. This is cool.
Yeah.
Personally, I was never interested in the Zoids just because when I was younger, giant robot didn't mean automatic cool to me. Giant transforming robot meant automatic cool to me.
That's fair.
It is a
Transformers is-
transforming
yeah.
robot in a way. But no, Ligers are part of what got me into giant robots in the first place. The whole Zoids thing. Like,
Yeah, for some reason I like Zoids. I don't remember why.
Because it was
You know what?
good show.
I remember specifically. Oh, look, the Zoid is like Liger Zero is running, and they're firing at him, and he's moving side to side, and they're all missing. In hindsight, that's probably gonna look really stupid if I go back and watch it.
I hear you, Slicer, but I didn't get any nostalgia hype watching this show like I got for some others.
It's
Well,
also
I-
episode 1.
Yeah, and New Century Zero was the one that I watched. So
I did not realize the nostalgia bomb I would be setting off by us doing this show.
let's roll a new show.
Sure. It'll be more nostalgic than the last.
I did not have anything to do with any of this shit. Like, the first giant robot show I watched was Evangelion in my 20s. So,
You poor bastard.
yeah.
Yeah, I feel like
Thank God for
Big
Gurren
Shot was
Lagann, or I
wrong.
would have hated all of this shit forever.
oh gosh, you know what I remember? One of the stupidest giant robot shows that I actually really liked as a kid. Cubics. Who
Oh,
remembers Cubics?
God, that's terrible.
I know. It's awful. But I liked it because it was kind of weird and it was colorful. And I'm
Okay.
looking at Cubics, and Cubics was this animation is frightening.
All right, so we're gonna ignore Cubics because it's straight trash,
It is.
and
Well,
we're gonna roll this number.
Well, hold
Right
on
now.
a second. Let me check if it's even on the list.
It better not be. It's not anime.
It better not be. It's not.
Neither-
That is Batman Beyond, but that was on there.
Shut up! It's great. It is. It clearly is because he's laughing.
No, I was laughing in response to Casey's rebuttal.
Oh.
No, the only CU on the list is Cuticle Tante Inaba. Cuticle Detective Inaba.
All right, dodge a bullet.
Oh man, you look at Cubics right now, and it aged so poorly.
You know, I think I will add Cubics to the list.
Yeah. No.
Okay, before you
But
add
yeah.
it to the list, find it somewhere that we can actually watch it. That's
Okay, so that's fair. That's fair.
Damn it.
I don't know what Cubics is. What?
neither do I.
Don't watch.
It's what if we made a Rubik's Cube into a robot?
I'm kind of
Basically.
down with that concept.
It's not.
Yes,
It's not. It's not. It's not
on
what you think it
YouTube.
is.
Oh, this thing. Okay. Yeah.
Alright.
Yikes, that's atrocious looking at it now.
Yes.
Oh yes, it is. This is
Okay, now I
this
need to
is
look
so
at this thing.
old.
Okay, it's added to the list at least, but what are the odds that it'll come out right now?
Don't say
At,
that.
at the
God.
very least, before Cubics, I had watched like Transformers Beast Wars.
Oh yeah, that's a good one. That's a pretty good one.
So,
All right,
Saturday morning
Kenshi?
cartoons always seem special to me.
Also, I'm pretty sure they ripped off the Sonic the Hedgehog logo for that title.
Don't worry about it.
Kenji, if you please.
Right. All right. So, random number generator. on this particular occasion, it brings up number 11.
11. That's
K.
yes.
K for Kenshi, the best of all letters.
Mm-hmm.
This is one of the longer ones. 147.
Ooh. Lots of
KR.
options.
Hitman Reborn's on there.
We did K on already. That sounds familiar.
I don't think we watched it for this show. I watched it myself.
All right. So, out of 147, we get 147.
You're kidding.
I'm not.
Well, what's the very last entry on this list? Well, this could go either way. Kyoso Giga, translation, Capital Craze Comic.
Okay.
And for the record, Kenji is the only one with a veto presently.
Okay, I'll
Unless we do
read
the
it out. I found it. So, hidden within Kyoto is the Mirror Capital, where yokai and humans live together and no one ever dies. It's protected by 3 people, Kurama, Yase, and Mioe, as they await the return of their parents, Mioe Jonin and Koto. One day, a young girl named Koto, same name, different spelling, and her little brothers A and Un wander into the city from a different dimension looking for her mother. A mecha geek with red eyes, it's not immediately clear whether she's human or yokai. Her arrival upsets the long peace that had ruled the city. That told me absolutely nothing.
It told me that the creators of the show are really bad at naming characters.
The comments are telling me something.
All right.
Yup.
Oh, okay then.
What are the comments saying?
He pasted one.
Oh, sorry.
Oh.
No.
The actual views are reading. One says, a journey into Kyoso Gigai is an experience like no other. It's perhaps, out of all things, most analogous to wandering in the circus, stumbling upon the Hall of Mirrors, and bringing back after having witnessed a sensational light show. So, apparently its visuals are really good.
So, here's the thing. I understand where you're coming from, patient, but none of that's going to happen in the first episode. So,
Probably. Who knows?
I put money on it. And I don't put money on much.
It has a pretty good score. People seem to really like it.
I mean, there was that show with the incest roulette, as Kenshi put it, but yes, it probably won't happen in the first episode.
That was a nice pregnant silence there. All right, let's do this thing.
So, anyone interested in a group veto?
Nah.
No.
I didn't think so.
There's not nearly enough evidence to say that this is going to be bad. Chaotic?
It's not going to be bad or squicky, patient. That was one person.
It was one
I'm holding you to that, Kenshi.
None
And if it is, then the next time you're using your veto on it.
What do I get if it's not?
That's a good
I
point.
do for next year.
That does not seem to be a dub, by the way.
Oh, shame.
Dub Club is adjourned.
Yeah. Suspended for this time.
Well, I suppose it's only fair. This past one didn't have a sub, so now I get one without a dub.
It's really weird they didn't have a sub, by the way.
Quite.
It might be one of those, it's like, it's a nothing anime in Japan, but here it was a Saturday morning cartoon, so it gained,
A lot of traction.
Yeah,
it was more popular here.
Wouldn't be surprised.
I think the Cubix character models are going to give me nightmares.
Oh, probably.
It's your own fault.
You know what? You're not wrong, but at the same time, I'm still watching the first episode of Cubix right now.
All right, shall we
let's.
save this discussion for the actual podcast?
I mean, that'd be a week early, but sure. So, yeah.
Rabbit.
Rabbits. God damn it, that's going to affect us forever, isn't it? All right, so thanks for listening to Anime Reflux. This was actually a pretty good one, so yay.
That's pretty good.
Yeah, so thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with the thing that we just Kyoso Giga. I think that's what it was called. Yeah, so bye, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye.
Take care.
Wincest.